Wrestlemania's ass to this ring. Give me a hell yeah.
Oh, Shucky Darns, heck and yes.
What?
Yes, yeah, heck yes. I don't want to say hell. There are children listening.
You just did.
Yeah, well.
You just said damn in hell.
Damn it. I didn't mean to say hell, damn it. Okay. Anyway, we're back once again live and in almost color for another edition of SCI Wrestling. I'm WB Ward.
And I'm Chip Douglas.
Got a lot on the plate today.
Yes.
And we're going to have Sir Marcus of Hathcock joining us here in a little bit.
Yeah, super fan.
Been a while since we've heard from Mr. Hath.
Yes, absolutely. He reached out to him because one thing I wanted to do, especially for the WrestleMania build, is to try to build guests on for each week of the show. And we've accomplished that.
Speaking of which, next week we can look forward to
Donald Wood from Ring Rust Radio
Yes.
/ columnist for Bleacher Report.
And he was on before, and I was
Yes.
really impressed with him. But there's one thing, though, that I'm kind of hoping. You think between now and next week he might actually kind of crawl out of his shell a little? I mean,
I loved his energy.
He seemed to be so introverted.
Oh, his energy was, you couldn't imagine.
Man, you're not kidding. Then, of course, the week after that, our good old friend, what the hell was his name?
Chris Plank?
Yeah, Chris Plank. Radio personality extraordinaire with the Buzz. Are they still called the Buzz?
Yeah, 1430 The Buzz here in
1430,
Tulsa.
yeah.
You can also hear on iHeartRadio for those who are outside of Oklahoma.
I tease Chris a lot. That guy's they've gone through more identity changes than Elizabeth Taylor's gone through husbands.
And for those who are my age, probably won't get that reference, but she was married quite a few times.
She's been married more times than I have.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Jeez.
And I have enough ex-wives to form a hockey team.
I mean, you've always told me that joke about Chef Boyardee.
Yeah.
Advice.
Getting marital advice from me is like getting gourmet advice from Chef Boyardee. Yeah. Probably not a wise idea. Very quickly going over our social media connections. Of course, you can hear us on YouTube, on YouTube /
just SCI Wrestling.
Okay, and then over on Facebook.
Square Circle Insider Wrestling.
And then on Twitter.
SCI_Wrestling.
Okay, and of course you can send emails to sci@wbward.com. Now, you mentioned Twitter, and that leads us up to our very next segment, which does this.
Oh, yes. There he is. Boy, he always comes in the right time.
He does. He's got split second. He's ready
that sounded really bad.
Given the charges, that's probably
exactly.
May he rest in peace.
Yes, God rest his soul.
And by the way, just for the record, he was cleared on every one of the charges.
Yes, he was.
He was, and I've always kind of thought he got the raw end of that. He really did. Anyway, what's the tweet of the week this week?
You want to guess who it's from this week?
I'm going to guess, since you're giving me a guess on it, I'm going to say Al Snow.
Absolutely, it's from Al Snow, my favorite Twitterer. And have you ever heard of saying everything is possible?
Yes.
He explains that person clearly never tried winning an argument with a woman on her period.
Oh my God. I won't even go there. Holy moly. Man.
Quite possibly some of Al's best work.
Man. What you want to bet? I know who's eating alone tonight. Is he married? Do you know?
I don't know.
I would say probably not. If he was, again, probably not.
Probably not.
Anyway, let's give Mr. Hathcock a call here, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's see if he'll answer his phone.
He should.
If he doesn't think we're a phone solicitor or something.
He might.
Yeah, you never know. Well, there's two of them down. This seems like low rent.
He just texted me, so I told him 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, this here is the ABC bill collection agency. Anyway,
I know you guys well.
hey, Mr. Marcus Hathcock, how you doing, sir?
Good, guys. How you been?
Oh, so far so good. Good to have you back on the show, my friend.
Nice. Right on. Glad to be back.
Absolutely. What's been happening in the world of Hathcock?
Really, same old, man. Just working and living.
So we have the big mania to look forward to coming up here.
Yes.
So let's just go ahead and dive right into this. Marcus, what the hell is going to go on in WrestleMania?
Well, it's almost like they set up like a super predictable outcome to this, and I kind of hope they don't either they got to do something different, because this whole, Brian's going to beat Triple H to get into that main event for the title, and you got to see him winning it, and it seems like they just have totally set that up.
But are we sure about that?
That's the thing. It seems that way, but are they just going to screw him again, or what are they going to do?
Right.
How do you swerve it?
Maybe at one time, Marcus, I would be in full agreement with you, because as you know, I'm not a big fan of the writers from WWE Creative. However, over the last few weeks, I've been seeing some glimmering examples of we may be seeing some improvement here. So I don't know. I don't. It'll be interesting to see how they do play out that storyline.
Marcus, how do you feel about the build so far? The feel of it going into T-minus 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. How do you feel like it's been building in the feel the past, I say, about 8 weeks?
It's good. Of course, it's been good, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like Mania.
Right. I know, and that's where I was.
The best way.
Yeah.
It's funny between you, between Chip and myself. I'm the one who's usually slamming the organization big time. And it seems like to me, I'm going to be the one in this particular argument that's going to say, hey, I think they're doing a knockout job.
The past 8 weeks.
Yeah, okay. I've been pretty hard on them.
Okay.
I've been pretty hard on them. And I got to tell you, one of my big turning points was the Monday Night Raw that they had a couple of weeks ago, where they invited over 100 people to come down and stand in the ring, supposedly in solidarity with Daniel Bryan. And I remember my first reaction to that when I saw that was, oh my God, I hope they're not setting up a precedent that they can't get out of now and have people running to the ring. So I'm glad that they managed to not open that door. But still, in my years involved with professional wrestling, both on the inside and as a fan, I have never seen any promoter do anything that even remotely resembled that. Not to that extent anyway. And I thought that was just an absolute genius move, and I love the way that they handled that. So that's one of the shining objects, one of the shining diamonds that I've seen so far coming out of WWE Creative, that I thought, well, hey, there may be some hope in the universe just yet. That really impressed me. I don't know, what were your feelings on that particular stunt?
I like that. I think they've been doing really well as far as building and writing the whole Triple H and Bryan feud. It's it's played well. They do things. You kind of see where things are going, but they play it well. They don't rush it. Obviously, it's been going since SummerSlam, and they're writing that really well. It's just some other things that they're kind of dropping the ball, in my opinion, on.
Like what?
Just Batista to me in general. But I will say, when they turned him heel and just kind of let him say what he wanted to say to the people, that is the best promo he did since he came back, and that was like a month ago on SmackDown, when he kind of let the fans have it. But that's exactly what they have to do with him, because people hate him. They just resent him now. And
I think that's what's so brilliant about what we have been able to see. And this is where I will give WWE Creative a little bit of credit, because if we look back and let's say Rumble, right before the Rumble, right before the 30-man Rumble is about to happen, I do not think the plan was to have Bryan anywhere near the title picture. I think they thought the fans would be accepting of Batista being the big baby face, and to have another WrestleMania moment as Batista being the champion. But the crowd did not take kindly to Batista winning the Rumble, and I think that's where it all began, because of the fact that the crowd's so behind Daniel Bryan. Agree?
Yeah,
disagree?
The crowd threw a curve to Creative there, I think.
Yeah, and it's really refreshing to know that some reason, or finally, the creative department was able to grab a hold of what the fans actually wanted.
Now, what about the 600-pound gorilla in the room? The fans still have not forgotten.
Talking about Vicky Guerrero?
No, besides her.
Oh, okay.
You've been hanging around me way too long. Yeah. No, what I'm talking about, because the fans, there's no way they're going to be forgetting CM Punk. And he's been behaving himself. He's not been bad-mouthing the organization or anything, and the organization's not been mentioning him. They've just been ignoring the audiences. But I'm wondering how long this is going to go on with the fans continually chanting CM Punk. Do you see him ever coming back there, Marcus?
Oh, man. I hope so. I really hope this has been some sort of work where they've been planning something for a CM Punk surprise at Mania, but I doubt it. But I do think he'll come back. I don't know when, though. It may be a while.
Okay, and of course, last week I announced the rumor that I had heard that he is somehow or another going to be making an appearance in Mania. But of course, at this point of the game, you're going to hear rumors like that left and right. And you know, who knows? You know, who knows what's going to be going on? So, as of all of the matches so far, the big one that you're talking about, Marcus, you believe that Triple H is going to lose to Daniel Bryan, and Bryan's going to go into the three-way for the championship. So, out of the three-way for the championship, how do you foresee that one going?
Well, really, right off the top, I do think Bryan's going to win. I just think if you do not pull the trigger now, this time, I don't think you can go back anymore. They've already kind of delayed it to Mania at this point. I just don't see them being able to get him any legitimacy really back if they don't do that.
Right. And I think it's right now on paper, as far as, if I was to sit down and write it out, it makes perfect sense to me, and that's the way that it really probably should be done.
Now, I honestly believe what will actually take place, though, is during the Triple H Daniel Bryan match. Of course, Bryan will win. I think he will. But when they get into the triple threat, Daniel's going to be ahead of that. But you're going to see Triple H come down to interfere with the match, albeit unsuccessfully. Probably headed off by the Shield.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. See, now here we got our disagreement going right now. Yeah, because, I mean, Shield has done a complete turnaround. They are now completely clean face now. So, yeah, I can see that happening real easy.
What do you think, Marcus?
I could see that. This is where I'm really hoping you get a CM Punk appearance. And I don't know if it was you, Chip, or if it was somebody else on that one group that was saying that, CM Punk comes back and helps Bryan win. And I was like, that'd be more awesome if CM Punk actually screws Bryan out of it. That's right. The only way you can actually screw Bryan and keep it going is if it's Punk that does it. Because everyone else you just expect to turn on him. Punk's the last guy you think to turn on Bryan.
Well, now, when that would go on, who do you think would wind up being the heel, though? CM Punk or Bryan?
Oh, yeah, that would be, Punk for sure. 'Cause people would just, can you imagine? Punk joins the Authority, he'd be hated.
And that's where I would see. I don't know if you'd save it for Raw or if you save it the night after WrestleMania on that Raw. But where somehow or another Bryan's in the title picture is getting kind of an unfair shake. And that Punk music hits, crowd erupts, and then for him to go down there and to screw Daniel Bryan out of the title. Oh my gosh! Instant heat. Instant heat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're making my panties moist.
So, well, I don't even know what to say.
and now there's a visual for the rest of the night.
All right. So moving on from the title picture itself, let's talk about one of the other big main events, and that's the streak. I think we all saw.
No, we're not talking about running naked.
No.
Okay.
No. Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. Marcus, what do you think?
I just don't ever see Undertaker losing. It's a good match. There's only a few other people that could have went with him.
Right.
Something fresh, someone you actually think can beat him. I just don't see Undertaker ever losing.
Well,
if this is the last one or not or whatever.
Here's what I'm thinking. One of the greatest turnovers in the history of professional wrestling, arguably one of the greatest turnovers, was when Andre the Giant actually did step down and took a bump from Hulk Hogan to hand over the championship. I mean, that was within the industry itself. That's heralded as one of the greatest laydowns of all time. Now, with them having the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, I can see the streak coming to an end just as an homage to Andre the Giant.
Okay, so all right, so can we go ahead and go on record to say WB Ward is predicting that the streak will end at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, we can say that, but it's begrudgingly because I don't want to see it go to Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, it's going to be that way.
That's why I don't see it happening, not with Lesnar.
And I'm in that same boat just because the fact that he's a part-time wrestler. Getting him over with the fans and giving him the streak gives him no more credibility that they'd actually be able to use.
Now, here's the good news on this for all of the Undertaker fans listening to this broadcast. Chip, how many times have you heard me predict the Undertaker to lose the streak?
Yeah, that's the reason I wanted to go on record and say you predicted. Because you're going on 5 years running.
Yeah,
you predicted it wrong.
I am as reliable as the streak itself.
I think you said Mark Henry was going to beat him at one point.
Yeah, well, my favorite color is peanut butter. What do I know? But yeah, I can see him handing it over because I know within the ranks of professional wrestling, I know that this is an industry that just eats, drinks, sleeps, breathes, and dreams tradition. And because of the connection with Andre the Giant, I could see this happening just as an homage to him. But I think Brock Lesnar is just in the right place at the right time for his career. I really do. I hate to say that because I would hate to see him do it. But I think that's what I'm thinking. And for the first time, though, of all the times I have been wrong with that prediction, I'm really hoping this is going to be the time I'm really wrong. But anyway, what other matches are on there? You have to refresh my memory.
Speaking of kind of like passing the torch or like getting the younger generation over, because to me that's where we're missing the boat with the Undertaker Brock Lesnar, because it gives no credibility to Brock Lesnar as a wrestler, because the fact that he's still a part-time wrestler and you never know when he's going to be in or out.
He's very unreliable.
So moving on to the next match, where I think there will be a good rub, is John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Marcus, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think Wyatt takes it. Just because Cena, everybody thinks Cena's going to win. And Cena's won matches at Mania that you really didn't think he was even going to get close to. And I could see him doing that for Wyatt. Wyatt's one of those guys that they always want someone to step up. So there it is. And, you can't let him lose, because what does that do for Cena? Nothing. Cena doesn't need it, and just like Brock doesn't need to beat Taker to be over or whatever. So Wyatt needs it. I see Wyatt beating him. It'd be a good match.
Yeah. Now, with your comment in mind there, Marcus, and if we turn back the clock and go back in time a bit, how were your feelings when The Rock defeated John Cena?
That one was, I don't know, to me that was a different build. That was more of a Hogan Rock match where it really didn't matter who won, you just wanted to see that match.
I know it was the longest build I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. Close to this Bryan championship, but
yeah.
I don't know. I think you have to give it to Wyatt, because that just makes him more dangerous. And if you're looking for that big heel that's young and can be the future, a win over Cena, something he's going to brag about for years.
You don't see this as an obvious breakup of the Wyatt family with the Broser Brody lookalike turning on Wyatt and interfering with the match?
No way.
I don't see that one happening. I see the Shield breaking up way before the Wyatts get close.
Well, no, I think the Shield has absolutely been cemented together now. I think since they did turn face, I think they're in for the long haul.
All right, so let's go to the Shield, because the fact that that's one of the big elephant in the room right now is with the Shield. We talked for months about WrestleMania being the moment for the Shield where it'd be like a triple threat match where we have Ambrose versus Rollins versus Reigns. Obviously, right now, that doesn't look like that's going to happen. So for WrestleMania 30, Marcus, what do you predict for the Shield? What's going to happen, and what would be their enrollment being baby faces now in WrestleMania 30?
Unfortunately, my prediction is that they end up in that Battle Royal. I really don't know.
What a waste.
That would be a waste, and I hope not. That's kind of what I think, unless they kind of pull something. And what's funny about the Shield breaking up is I think it's going to be the one nobody really thinks about and thinks is kind of the weakest, and Rollins. I think Rollins is the one that kind of turns and breaks the Shield up.
And right now, he looks like the strongest one of the group. I think right now, as far as solid performers, I say for the past 4 to 5 weeks, he has been the man when it comes to performers and overall performance. I still love Roman Reigns. I still think he's gonna be a superstar. But I always thought when they first had the Shield, I thought Ambrose all the way. Ambrose, Rollins, Reigns. I mean, that's how the order went. And then 6 months goes along. 8 months, then you say Reigns. All Reigns. Reigns 100%. Reigns, Ambrose, and Rollins. And now you're seeing Ambrose take a back seat, who I thought was the most talented one of the group, to be probably the least talented one of the group, even though he's still super talented.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I'm going to take issue with is I do think that being baby faces now, they're going to keep that team together for a while. I think they're going to want to play that angle at least through WrestleMania and possibly even up to the next pay-per-view. If the Shield begins to crack again, I don't think it's going to happen until the pay-per-view after WrestleMania. Before then, I think they're pretty well locked in.
Yeah.
So we went to the 30 man, right? The 30-man Rumble or Battle Royal, Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and my problem with the Battle Royal is what does it do for an individual? I mean, it gives other wrestlers the opportunity to be able on the show to be able to collect that check. But as far as Rob, a giant trophy that looks like a chocolate bar of Andre the Giant really doesn't do anything. Marcus, what do you think? And B, who do you see being able to capitalize on this? And what would you do different with it?
Well, you got to get people on the card. There's a lot of people that, aren't going to have matches. I get why they're doing it. You got a lot of people in that match that should have regular matches. As far as who wins it, that's tough because there's still like 18 spots. You're going to have some surprise people in there,
right?
For sure. I don't know if you're talking tradition and stuff. I mean, God, Big Show would be somebody that would win it. If you're doing Andre the Giant,
Ooh, good point.
You could even see Dolph, or I don't know. I just really think it's gonna be Big Show or some surprise entrance.
I really hope that they're doing this as a genuine tribute to Mr. Rosamoff, and that this is not just a gimmick that they're doing. But because Mr. Rosamoff was just such an incredible talent. Not to mention just a tremendous draw and a ticket seller for professional wrestling in general. He really did help move professional wrestling along into stages of popularities that I don't think it would have achieved had it not been for his presence. But Andre the Giant, I think, is very, very deserving of this type of homage. So I'm hoping this is just not the obvious publicity stunt that it is. But I hope there's actually some substance to the memorial aspect of this. And I hope like heck I'm pronouncing that name right.
I have no idea.
I believe it is pronounced Rosamoff.
Sure.
I mean, that's how I would, because Andre's birthday is mentioned within and I'm not doing this as a cheap plug, but there are some people who do know that I have a syndicated radio show called Ward's Daily Almanac. We do honor his birthday in there, and I refer to him by that name. So in as much as this has been heard me saying this in 120 countries around the world, God, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
As far as the Battle Royal goes for me, giving a trophy to me just doesn't do anything for anybody. And so I thought that, do a little fantasy booking. It's really cool that they put the Andre the Giant, name inside of there. I still really don't. Is it because like it's 30 years from when he lost to Hulk Hogan? I mean, I don't know. Why would you just happen to throw his name in there? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me.
That didn't even occur to me. The 30-year anniversary of him handing over to Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. I really haven't.
I don't know
why
that didn't occur to me.
But for me, they can't put Money Bank on the WrestleMania anymore because I got a whole pay-per-view focused on it. And so, to me, they should have done a little opportunity for someone to get like a number one contendership. To be the number one contender for the unified heavyweight championship. And the good thing is about that, it doesn't have to be at Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Because the fact that could be the rematch at Extreme Rules, and then you have that number one contender being ready to go to the next pay-per-view after Extreme Rules, which I can't remember which one it is, but it sets up for the pay-per-view later on.
Hey, I just thought of something. Between the three of us, am I the only one old enough to have watched that match live?
I was alive.
From WrestleMania 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have watched it live. I wouldn't remember.
Oh, God.
That's just. I think both of us were alive.
But your major hobbies were pooping your pants and taking naps on mommy's lap.
I had just graduated the toilet.
Yeah, exactly. That's our proudest feat at that moment.
Well, at that time in my life, I was kneeling in front of toilets a lot, so we weren't terribly far removed.
All right.
One thing about the Battle Royal, just as long as Santino Marella dressed up as Andre doesn't win the thing, then it's a success for me.
Yeah, now see that will be the litmus paper test for me to see if this is just a gimmick. If they let somebody like Santino Marella win this, then I'll know it was just a gimmick, and hopefully they'll never bring it back.
Now, I did have one question for Marcus, because the fact that I know he's a big Dolph Ziggler fan. Or am I speaking out of turn? You are a Ziggler fan, right?
No, I like him, yeah.
Okay. Apparently, in all the rumors, and it kind of makes sense of what they're going with, looks like there's going to be a new stable with him, Miz, and Zack Ryder. And we're starting to see that format happening with their promos and with Zack Ryder's new television show. What do you think about that?
They got to do something with him.
Right.
Dolph was at his hottest last year when he was with Big E and AJ, and not really a stable, but he was the leader of a group. And Dolph needs something, the Miz needs something, and Zack Ryder really looked like 2 years ago he was going to take off, and then he just went back to doing nothing. So they need to do something. That's a good way to do it.
Now, Zack Ryder has kind of been what I would call a forced superstar. They're trying their best to mold him into something, and so far it hasn't been working. I don't know if by now they're just beating a dead horse with the Zack Ryder idea. I hope they change his gimmick. His gimmick is really becoming his gimmick is almost annoying as that lady who comes out and introduces Alexander Rusev.
Oh, I like her.
Oh man, and that is just her voice just makes me man.
So, all right. So, since we're gonna move on from WrestleMania, but is there any other predictions that you could possibly see happening within WrestleMania as a whole, Marcus?
Well, you'll probably have a couple of run-ins. You'll probably have the Warrior do a run-in on somebody. Probably some dumb comedy skit. The Warrior's going to come out, shake the ropes, and splash somebody.
Yeah.
So
who do you think is going to receive the inevitable elbow drop from the Hulk?
Leg drop.
Leg drop. Yeah.
That's a good question.
Because I think somebody will do it.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe Triple H gets one.
Oh, there we go. Now, you brought up Warrior, and so I want to immediately go into one of the other big things that happens during the WrestleMania weekend, and that's the Hall of Fame ceremony. We just got a new inductee who was announced this past week. So far, we have the Ultimate Warrior, and tell me if I'm missing anyone, WB.
Okay.
Ultimate Warrior. Mm-hmm. We got Lita.
Mm-hmm.
We got Paul Bearer.
Yep.
And then Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yep. And
now Mr. T. and I forgot Carlos Colon in that sentence too.
Yes.
But Mr. T was just announced to be in as a celebrity addition to the Hall of Fame. How do you like this Hall of Fame class, Marcus?
It's actually a good one. It's kind of what they do, they got the girl, they got the one that nobody really has heard about too much in Cologne. They like to do the celebrities now. And really, Mr. T, everybody kind of goes, but, as far as that goes, I'm surprised people like Drew Carey beat him in.
Yeah.
But Jake Roberts, the Warrior even, I get those. Paul Bearer, that's a good one. That's a good class. Lita, that's a good one. I like it.
Who do you think is being snubbed or who maybe perhaps should be in that we don't see?
Well, of course, Macho Man should be.
Right.
Wait a minute, I thought he was in there.
No, he isn't.
Oh.
No.
Yes, he most definitely.
He's the one still. Yeah. He's the real biggest one. But
is Gorilla?
they're kind of giving.
Is Gorilla Monsoon in the
Hall
of Fame?
Oh,
okay, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So moving up from the Hall of Fame, WBE Network. Did you subscribe?
I haven't yet.
Oh, you haven't?
I was waiting. No, I haven't yet because I'm going to have to do it through my Xbox, and then I saw all the glitches, so I'm going to wait till I get everything totally cleared up before I go in there, and I'm sitting there, like, upset.
Yeah, they were glitching through the 1 week preview.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to wait till they get the kinks worked out before I start paying for it.
Okay. All right. And also, some breaking news came about this week about a new television program that's being developed by WBE, and that's WBE Slam, which is kind of a ripoff of a Hulk Hogan cartoon show that they had back in the 80s, which I was a huge fan of. And this is going to be an animated series that features the current wrestlers in different occupations. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see guys like I don't know, like Sheamus as a plumber, and John Cena as a
mechanic.
Did I get plumber right with Sheamus?
I believe so.
Oh wow.
No. Sheamus is going to be a theater usher.
A theater usher.
Yes.
Oh, even better. There's a plumber in there somewhere, isn't there?
I believe so, and I forget who that is. I know Randy Orton is going to be a zookeeper. Alberto Del Rio is going to be a coffee house barista, or how you pronounce that.
That makes sense.
And, of course, Cena is the auto mechanic, and those are the only professions that I know about.
Okay, all right. So, Marcus, what do you think about that?
If they start running out of ideas, this will start being like storylines for next year's WrestleMania.
Oh.
But
they could do AJ as a crack addict.
They show who gets to be the gynecologist. Bad News Barrett.
Yeah, Bad News Barrett.
Oh
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect.
Oh yeah. That would be good. That would be good. This will be interesting. But can either one of you guess or name the company that is co-sponsoring this with them?
Is it March?
The show?
The series, yeah. WWE Slam City.
I believe it is the action figure line, isn't it?
Which is?
I always mispronounce it.
Jack?
No, it isn't Jack. I think it's Martel.
Mattel.
Okay.
The complete line of WWE Slam City merchandise is currently available at a store near you now.
Wow.
They wasted no time getting those out on the store shelves, so they're in this to make some money.
That's
time.
What that stuff was.
Yep.
I saw those action figures. Okay. I saw them at the store the other day. Like, what is this? They're all short and fat, stubby.
Oh, really? So you've already seen the pre-work for this?
Now, Kane.
Yeah, I saw the action figures.
Oh, jeez. I didn't know had those.
I think Kane is going to have the profession you were mentioning.
Oh, Kane's going to be a plumber.
Oh, yeah, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I think. I also know the other two personalities so far that have been confirmed of being characterized in this are The Miz and Rey Mysterio. But I don't yet know what the professions for those two are going to be.
My son's so disappointed that Rey Mysterio isn't on television. That's like his favorite wrestler.
Well, it's because it's the only wrestler that's the same height as your son.
That's true.
So.
That's true. So whenever we watch wrestling, he always asks, "Where's Mysterio?" I have to say, "Oh, he's not on it."
Tell him it's a mystery.
I could. He won't get that though. I totally lost my concentration there.
Telling him he's actually there. The only problem was he got another tattoo added. Now he just blends in and nobody can see him.
Yeah, my 4-year-old will get that really well. I'll let you explain that to him. So we had a birthday this past week, and it kind of rolls into WrestleMania 30 and what could possibly happen. And that is the icon Sting, who just had his 55th birthday on the 20th.
He's the same age as I?
Yeah.
I'll be. And he's older than me.
What do you mean? He just turned 55.
Oh, never mind.
So, always the rumors of Sting and WBE. What do you think, Marcus?
Well, did you see the quotes from him? He was on some show, and they were talking about anything, that he wants to do, any matches he wants to have, and he's like, of course, the one match that I really ever want to have anymore that I have to do is The Undertaker. He wants The Undertaker, and that's the first I've ever heard of him actually acknowledging it.
Oh, you just lit a light bulb over my head.
If he's saying it, hey, I really hope he does something, if it's Undertaker or not, but that seems like that would be how it would have to go down.
What's your light bulb?
Well, I can just see maybe a surprise entrance and possible interference in the Taker match.
Oh.
Well,
I say give it to him clean. Let the Undertaker win clean. Next night at Raw is where we'd see the appearance of Sting, and we'd have a year-long build-up, just like John Cena and The Rock, for Sting and Undertaker at WrestleMania 31 in San Francisco. Boy, I'm good at this.
Yeah, you're a good booker. And I used to just call him a booger.
So, I would love to see it. Once again, it's one of those WrestleMania moments that they did do it on WrestleMania to where it would do Sting any good to beat him. So we would kind of already know the aspect of it or what the outcome would be. It would just be for excuse my language, but shits and grins, just to be able to see Sting versus the Undertaker, which has always been one of those fantasy type matches.
Recapping a little bit on the revisiting the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
We mentioned, you guys mentioned a while ago, and I was a little bit surprised. I don't know why I didn't know this, but with the Savage not being in the Hall of Fame, besides Savage, who else should be there that they have never mentioned before at all?
Marcus?
Wow.
That they haven't mentioned?
Yeah.
That's tough. There
certainly is a lot of choices that can certainly go into this. I mean, with the history that that professional wrestling has, because they don't have to be WWE superstars or even former superstars to be put in there.
I got one. Oh. Ted Turner.
Wow.
Yeah, I could see that.
Talk about swallowing pride.
Yeah.
And I don't mean McMahon. Would Turner come up and accept that?
I don't know if he would or not, but
oh boy, you talk about somebody having a bad case of sour grapes.
But we've seen the Von Erichs get in with Fritz Von Erich. We've seen Vern Gagne get inducted to the Hall of Fame, who was a booker for AWA or owner of AWA. Cowboy Bill Watts, Hall of Famer now, who did Mid-South. Jerry King Lawler, who was big in the Memphis area.
How about Skandar Akbar? Is he in there?
No.
I think he should be.
I don't think he is either.
I think that would be another possible named contention that should be considered for a possible future Hall of Fame.
I think guys, go ahead, Marcus.
Owen Hart is definitely one.
Oh, there's one. There's a good one right there.
Yeah.
And I know Bret Hart's always been kind of a little bit hurt by that.
I wonder if there may be some kind of legal ramification though that may be prohibiting them from doing that.
I don't know because his ex or his widow is real weird about the business and all that now.
I'm
not sure how that plays.
I imagine so. And I would think because of the circumstances surrounding his death, I would imagine there probably is still some pending litigation at some point. As I'm sure that has not yet been resolved, not completely.
Yeah, I think it has to a certain degree. I think the WBE did pay out some money to the widow.
I'm sure they did, but for the amount of money it would have been, I'm sure not even the WWE did that in one lump sum.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'll bet you anything there are still some chapters there that are ongoing that are just not known to the general public. I just don't see that going away, at least not within our lifetime, not completely. That's certainly going to be, there's too many unanswered questions all the way around the board on that one. So I don't know. The WWE Divas. I have been noticing a very strong improvement within the ranks of the Divas. My only problem that I've really had with it here as of late, even though I think the writing has improved, I think the wrestling has dramatically improved among the Divas as a whole. But this gimmick with AJ holding the title for 200 some odd days, and she's the longest title holder of for the Diva belt so far in the history of the WWE. How long have we actually had the Diva belt?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've had the women's title for a long time.
Yeah, but we haven't had the Divas belt. I mean, so the fact that she's had it this long, is that really saying anything at all?
I mean, I don't know, Marcus. What do you think?
It's gotten better, definitely, but I think AJ is still your top Diva. I mean, everyone's getting better wrestling and getting more of a push and getting a little more dynamic, but really, AJ is still your top, in my opinion, Diva all the way around, character-wise, wrestling-wise.
Have you heard any rumors about Tamina? As I'm alleging that the injury that was placed on one of the Funkadactyls, I still say that was not an accident. Chip, you saw that knee drop.
Oh yeah, absolutely, I did.
Yeah,
from Oksana.
Oksana, I'm sorry, I said Tamina, and I apologize. I meant Oksana, but we haven't seen Oksana lately, have we?
Just in a couple backstage segments. That's about it.
Okay, yeah, that kind of maybe that answers my question.
Yeah, because she nailed that elbow on Naomi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you aware of the situation I'm talking about here, Marcus?
Yeah, I do know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I saw that knee drop happen live, and I got to tell you, my hair stood up on the back of my neck when I saw that go down, because I remember sitting there thinking, man, I've seen some intentional blows given in the ring before, but that's the first one where I thought this person was really wishing harm on somebody. I mean, serious harm, because I just don't see how that possibly could have been an accident, not even remotely possibly.
Now, of course, to me, I think the WWE, as far as Diva competition goes, are really missing the boat with an NXT Diva named Emma. So that's my opinion. What do you think of Emma?
I like Emma. Emma's awesome.
But really, that dance, really?
I mean, it's a stupid dance, but I mean, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick.
Okay, the idea of a gimmick I can get, and the mutual clumsiness between her and Santino. Yeah, I can see that. That's okay. That's cool. But the dance, really? It's what kills me is people are actually doing the dance.
Oh yeah. NXT, it's even worse. Like if you watch NXT, they film like in a pretty small stage venue, but the crowd goes nuts when Emma comes out there. It's actually quite surprising, to be honest. She has the bubble machines going everywhere on her entrance. Dude, it's really strange to watch. YouTube it,
man.
But there's another one too, Paige, who's the NXT Divas champion, and she's a phenomenal worker. And so I'd be really excited to see her and AJ have a real strong feud whenever they call up Paige, which should be any time now. Have you seen Paige, Marcus?
Yeah, Paige. I know Paige from when she was an independent. She's legitimate, because isn't her mom and dad both pro wrestlers too?
Yes,
something like
they
that?
are. Yes, they were.
Yeah,
who are her parents? Is there anybody I would know?
Give me a minute.
Soraya Knight or something. I think they're the Knights, aren't they?
It doesn't ring any bells with me.
They're from England.
Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, they're from England. Yeah, so you might not know them because of the fact they did wrestle in England.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm getting these visions in mind of Emma doing that dance, and for me, it's like watching a car wreck. You just can't look away from it. It's just people like that, really. Wow, I don't know. I just hope they keep up the clumsiness angle, because that I think is at least fairly entertaining. But the dance, really?
Yeah, he was. Marcus was right. That's Ricky Knight, who was wrestled in WAW, and Sweet Soraya, who was a female wrestler, all in England and stuff like that. So
actually, Ricky Knight, that does sound familiar. now that you mention it.
Are you sure not thinking Ricky Ricardo from
No.
I Love Lucy?
No, wrong country.
Okay. All right.
No, Ricky Knight, though, that does ring a bell. How long ago are we talking? We must be talking back in the 60s and 70s, I would presume.
I'm thinking 70s, 80s. Because that makes sense to me. I don't know.
I don't know. But the Divas overall are I do believe that their stories are improving. I am seeing some early signs of some more flips. Like I can see a very strong possibility that Natalia might be turning heel here in not too long. I've been seeing some inklings of that. And, of course, her protege on the Divas, the girl with the bright flaming red hair. What's her name?
Eva Marie.
Eva Marie. She has all the earmarks of becoming a heel. She has all the earmarks on that. So, and I think that's possibly one of the greatest weaknesses of the Divas division so far, is they have too many faces involved and not enough heels, at least not enough strong heels. They have some good ones. Oksana, they kind of lost out a little bit on. I think she's probably being reprimanded right now, more than likely. That's just a guess. I haven't heard anything. But Tamina, they have her. She is absolute, no pun intended, knockout as far as talent is concerned. So they do have some strong ones in there. But besides them, not many. They need to get some more ladies in there like Beth Phoenix and stuff like that. And if they have people like Natalia turning heel, then I can see a little bit of strength coming back into the Divas division. But until that happens, I don't know. I think it's still going to be kind of second string wrestling. What say you, Mr. Mark?
Yeah, totally agree. I think it's kind of, since like 2003, really been second string wrestling and hasn't really gotten back to when you had the Litas, the Victorias, and Trish, and even, what's her name?
Well, speaking of Beth Phoenix,
Jacqueline.
Speaking of Beth Phoenix, what the heck ever happened to her?
You know what? I didn't even know this. She had a baby with Edge.
Really?
What? No.
Dude, I swear I'm not off right now. I swear I read that going, what? And dude, Edge and Beth Phoenix had a kid like a month or two ago. I swear, man. Look for it. Maybe I'm way off and wrong, but I swear I read that going, wow.
Wow, I didn't see that coming.
That's a swerve.
Maybe that's why. Well, never mind.
No, he's right. Oh my gosh.
What'd you find?
No, I just looked it up. Absolutely, they did. Yeah, Oh my gosh, a baby girl. I had no idea. Yeah. I didn't know they were together, let alone having a baby.
Man, yeah, that would put her out of action for a while. That would certainly do it for sure. But I think they need to, as far as the Divas are concerned, I think they need to start downplaying the idea of being supermodels, and because I think that's actually kind of weakened it a bit. They've been putting so much on the aesthetics and making these girls just look absolutely drop dead gorgeous, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But I think that has taken away from a lot of the athleticism that could have been available in with the same process. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they can find a balance point between the two. But until they do, I think it's still going to be second string for a while. Maybe with the onset of the Totally Divas documentary that is currently appearing on the E! Television network, maybe that can kind of change things around a bit. But I think they have been a little bit more lipstick than they should have been for this period of time, because I think they can go back and really regain some roots.
Oh, absolutely! I completely agree. All right, so I've got some news here, and this I've just discovered this. Apparently,
this just in
breaking news. Bret Hart is officially going to be a part of WrestleMania 30 in some way. And I'm going back to the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Could we see some older Hall of Fame wrestlers appear in this Battle Royal? Especially someone like Bret Hart, who was in the, I think he won the Battle Royal in WrestleMania 2 to kind of remember this whole thing. Could we see something like that happen within this scope of WrestleMania 30 in this Battle Royal? And I hate to go back to the subject, but I just read it.
Yeah. Well, because he won it too, and then he he got screwed by bad news at WrestleMania 4, so Brett's kind of got some history in Battle Royals. That makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
So,
well, I can't help but wonder how that must make the current WWE roster feel to know that they're having to, in order to sell seats, they're having to rely on pulling on a bunch of past talent. I mean, that's got to be demeaning in a way.
I don't think they expect that Battle Royal to put many butts in the seats as far as that's why I'm getting it or whatever.
Yeah.
They probably just got to fill it up. I'd be the ones that should be mad are the people like a Kurt Hawkins who aren't going to be in this Battle Royal at all. And, those type guys will be upset.
I don't know. It just kind of seems to me like they're not really pushing a lot of the current talent, and probably for good reason. But it almost seems like, okay, our current guys really are not that good. But remember when we used to have the Ultimate Warrior? It almost seems like they're kind of taking that kind of an idea.
They're kind of doing it with the big matches anyway. So you got Batista, who had to come back. You got Triple H, who's coming at Brock Lesnar. And it's like the big matches really are guys that are part-timers or just kind of...
Well, even The Undertaker.
And Undertaker. So
one match a year.
Yeah, one match a year.
Yeah.
But I think this is one of the few WrestleManias that we've seen in the past 2 years now that we're actually seeing someone being the focus of WrestleMania 30, being young to have a push to be even more successful, and that is Daniel Bryan. So if I'm always fine with them bringing in talent from the past to be in matches at WrestleMania 30, as long as they are there to build the current talent. And that's where I can see Batista being able to really show his place, is to be able to help Daniel Bryan really get over, because I can see Batista actually being the opponent of Daniel Bryan at Extreme Rules right after WrestleMania.
Who do you guys see as being the next John Cena or the next Rock? Besides Daniel Bryan. I know that's going to be the immediate temptation.
Yeah, let's talk really homegrown. They haven't held an Intercontinental title, let alone a world title. Go ahead, Marcus.
Man, I really think that Roman Reigns is going to be a big, legitimate star.
Yep.
Once that really hits and they push him and get that, whenever they do it, I see him being a primetime guy for a while.
I can see him to be the one to end the streak, because that would give him a huge rub in what he would need to be successful.
Sure.
Okay, Mr. Marcus, I got to tell you, time has been short, but it is always an honor having you on the show. I always enjoy hearing your insight. You certainly do. You certainly do present some very interesting ideas, so it's always a pleasure chatting with you, and I can't wait to have you back on the show again, my friend.
Right on, guys.
Okay, you take care of yourself.
Take care, bud.
Man, I tell you what, got a lot of interesting comments. Next week, of course, is going to be the one and only
Donald Wood from Ring Rust Radio's feature columnist of Bleacher Report.
Week after that, we're going to have Mr. Chris Plank joining us. All these predictions and stuff coming up for WrestleMania, and of course, professional wrestling and WWE in particular. Join us next week right here for yet another thrilling episode of the show we call